Good morning and welcome to the replay. I'll be with you in just a moment. Good morning, I'll be right with you. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, June 26th, and this morning I'm coming to you live with another fun project. I wanted to definitely let you see the top that I made the other day. I don't know if you were live with me, but we inked, oops, right here, this beautiful little dandelion. Some people see them as weeds, some people see them as flowers that you blow the seeds out of and make a wish. So that is my dream t-shirt, and it sure is a lot more interesting than it was without anything on it. Yeah. So today we're going to be working with ink again, and I'm a little nervous about doing this one, quite honestly, because of the curve of the project that we're going to be doing. So if you were just hopping in, be sure to say hello, hello, and just grab everything here. Make sure that I can see that you can see me and hear my voice, and we will be good to go. So if you're just hopping in, please say hello. I think it's working all right. There's a delay when I stream live, and it's normal, but it's kind of frustrating because sometimes I'll ask a question, and by the time I get the answers, I don't even remember what the question is. But so I'm going to turn my camera so that you can see both me as well as our project this morning. And we are going to have some fun with ink. Put this here. All right, let's flop that around. Okay, there we go. So I found this cute little pair of plain white non-lace sneakers at Walmart. And you can do this on any kind of canvas shoe at all. And as I was saying before, there is a curve to this, so it's a little trickier getting your transfers to stay in place. So that will be my challenge of the day. I'm going to be using the transfer Bless Our Nest. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that we've got this series of transfers that all coordinate really well together called Feathered Friends. There are several different collections, but these are all kind of Bless Our Nest bird related, and this one is the one that I'm going to be using on my sneakers today. So I am going to take this out of the package and tell you all about my plan. I always save the packaging so that I can put the transfers back into the envelope after I've washed them, dried them, and put them back on the carrier sheets. And by keeping them in the plastic that they came in, I know that they're safe, they're not going to get damaged, and I can organize them a little bit better too. So this is a cut apart transfer. There are lines that go through the whole design. So I think I know I'm gonna use these leaves here as well as the flowers. Not quite sure if I'm gonna use those or not yet. So I'm gonna cut them apart on the lines. Don't have to worry about cutting perfectly. It will not matter if you don't stay on the line. Not gonna be using this piece, so I'm gonna set that aside. But the rest of them I am going to cut apart. So you may notice there will be at least 6 pieces that I'm working with today, likely to be 6. So I want to be really careful about labeling the backs of them so that I don't lose track of which transfer goes on which carrier sheet. Oops, missed one. Okay. Hello, good morning everybody. So I'm going to start with these, and I'm going to number them 1 and 2. I'm also going to put my initials on the front so that I know that these are my transfers. And on the backs, I'm going to put leaf. I should write branch. This was 1, right? Branch 1. And my initials, branch 2. And my initials. And then these, I'm gonna call these stems because it's different than branch, right? Stem 1. My initial on front and back, and stem 2. Oops. I'm just using a regular old Sharpie to do this. So it is almost the weekend. What are you guys doing this weekend? This one I'm just going to write flower. I'm going to write my initials on the front. I'm going to write half flower on this one since it's just half. Good idea, huh? Okay, so those are done. And the reason that I write on the backs of my transfers, first of all, is because I want to know that after I've washed and dried my transfers, these are reusable. They can be used with both chalk and ink. But I read in the back so that after I've washed them and dried them sticky side up, I know which carrier sheet they go on. And because I want to remember not to put the transfer back on this side of the transfer, a carrier sheet. This carrier sheet is a matte, kind of a smooth, why can't I talk today? Having one of those days, I'm tongue-tied. It's, the other side of the carrier sheet is very smooth and silky and glossy. And this is the side you want to put the sticky side back on. This one is dull and it will stick to it pretty tightly, so you always want to remember to use that sticky side. So because I've got them all labeled, I'll know which transfer goes on which carrier sheet, and I also, because I've initialed them, know whose is whose. So I'm just going to start with one of these first. And my plan is that I want to go around the rubber edges of the sole here with some painter's tape. What is this called? Painter's tape? Yes, I think so. I'm just going to go around the edges so that I'm sure that I don't get ink on the rubber, because I think that wouldn't look very neat. So I'm just going to go around and cover the rubber sole with my tape as much as I can. This is nice tape. It just removes very easily. It's kind of like a washi tape. If you've ever done any scrapbooking, you'll know what washi tape is probably, or card makers use it a lot too. Let's see. Move this just a smidge. Just trying to cover up all of the rubber so that doesn't get ink on it. I'm sure that it would stain the rubber. And we're going to try to avoid that if we can. Not easy. So I've never done sneakers before. I've done lots of t-shirts and dish towels and aprons, but I haven't worked with shoes before, so this is a brand new adventure for all of us. So, okay. All right, so I've got that taped down pretty well. It's hard to get every little spot of this because it's curved. And my thought is, let's get that out of the way. First of all, I did stuff the inside of the shoe very, very tightly with paper. And I had a couple of those. I don't know if you've ever bought shoes and noticed that there's this little cardboard insert inside of there that holds everything nice and firmly. So it's all stuffed. It's got that cardboard insert, so it's as firm as I could get it. So what my thought was is I'm going to start on the outer edges and kind of curve that vine around the toe, around to the center of the toe. If that looks fine, but I want to add a little bit more. I may put another little branch next to it. And then we're going to put a couple little pink flowers on. So I think this is going to be really cute. Good morning, Miss Nancy. How are you today? So, all right. So we're going to start with this one here because that is the curve that it follows. And the other shoe, I'll use the other one on it. So we're going to kind of mirror it. I've got this thing about, you know, things being lined up perfectly. I don't know. I try, but they got to match. They just got to match, right? So let me turn this on its side so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. How are you doing, Nancy? Feeling better today? So normally I would fuzz the back side of my transfers, and what that is it's putting a little bit of lint from a towel or your t-shirt on the back of the transfers to soften the adhesive a little bit. So because I'm using this on fabric, I don't need to do that. I want it to stick pretty tight because it'll be easy to remove regardless. So I'm going to turn this a little bit out of your view just so that I need to move this a little bit. Oh, there we go. So that I can get this in the right place. There's an area here with some trim on it. I'm avoiding that, but I want to get the whole branch on and curve it up towards the toe. Like so. Oh, that fits pretty well. I was a little worried that it would be hard to bend around the edges here. So this little leaf right here is going onto the blue tape. So I'm just going to move it a smidge over. Very nice that this is very forgiving and you can move it and play with it till you got it right. You doing good? Good, Nancy. Nancy had a tooth pulled the other day and she was feeling under the weather a little bit. Our friend Christine, I'm sure she's not watching this morning, but she's often with us here. And she's having back surgery this morning, so keep her in your prayers for Christine. She's been putting this off for a long time, so it's just good to get it over with, I'm sure, for her. All right, so what do you think of that so far? So far, so good. I'm trying to push it down as much as I can to avoid getting bleeds under the transfer, but it is lifting a little bit, so we're going to have to move with caution. I might actually do the other shoe at the same time so that I know they're lined up pretty much the same. These are going to be cute. We'll see. First time working on shoes, Miss Nancy, so we'll see how it comes out. Say a little prayer. I posted a picture of some sneakers that were done a couple weeks ago, and you guys were like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. So I was like, well, let's try that. Why not? Why not? These are not designer sneakers. I got them at Walmart. So even if they're a flop, it's okay. I won't cry over it too much. But I'm hoping that they come out adorable. So, man, if this works, that might be one of the classes that I can offer in person if we ever open our businesses again. At this point, I'm not real comfortable having my classes in my kitchen. I do love doing that a lot, but there are different ways that, you know, designers run their businesses, and fortunately I was able to kind of pivot and do a lot of business online, just like we're doing today. I show people how to do their projects, and they love it, and sometimes they go and buy stuff, so that keeps me going. All right, let's see if I can get this one approximately the same place as that one. Thank you, Nancy. She'd appreciate that. She's a hot ticket, that girl. Christine is like, I don't know, she's amazing because she can sing any song that comes on the radio. Any song, she knows them all. And she quite often gives us concerts when we're on the Cape. She goes scrapbooking with me twice a year on Cape Cod. I take a group of ladies out and we all spend the weekend working on our scrapbooks, and she is nuts. I mean, from the 30s to today, she knows every word of every song. So she's a riot. She's training her friend Jody to do the same, I'm going to tell you. All right, let's see if these look pretty even. What do you think? It's really hard to tell. I'm going to say it's good. Yeah? All right. So let's get started. We are going to be using a green ink that I have. This is an old jar of ink that I've had since I became a designer almost 3 years ago, and it's still running strong. I did bring out some pink for the flowers, and if I decide to do the smaller leaves, if I want to bring those in too to layer it a little bit, what I'll do is I'll mix this green with some white so I have a different shade of green. I also have some yellow that I can blend into, so we may do a custom color. Let's see. All right, let's grab my green. I'm going to do this in the plain old green and see what happens. Let's hope for the best. Put this so you guys can see what I'm doing too. So yeah, we used to have 2-ounce jars like this one. We do not anymore. I need a paper towel handy. Let me grab one. The hardest part about working with ink, it's really easy to work with. The hard part is remembering to check your fingers constantly, because if you have ink on your fingers and you touch your fabric, you know what's going to happen. It looks even? Yeah, Nancy, you'd love her. She's a hot shot. I love her. I'm going to throw an apron on quick because I know myself well enough to know that I get ink on myself. I get chalk on myself. And I just made this really cute t-shirt the other day, so I'm going to keep it clean with my apron. Don't want any mishaps. So I'm going to grab a stir stick and give this a quick stir. The inks stay beautiful. I don't really even need to stir this, I guess, but I do anyway, just in case the colors have separated. But that looks really good. And I'm going to use a mini squeegee for this one. And I think we are ready to go. Say a little prayer for me, okay? Everything's down as tight as I can get it. Oops, a little lift right there. I'm going to kind of work my way down this really, really carefully. Pressing as I go to avoid bleeds in underneath my transfer. So these are actually not stencils at all. The areas that you see the white through here are silkscreen transfers, and that allows a lot more detail than you'd ever get in a stencil. This looks pretty good so far, you guys. If you have any questions while I'm doing this, please post them. When I am done with this, I will dry it with my heat tool or hair dryer, and I will, a lot of times when I'm working with fabrics, I will iron it. I'm not sure how easily I can iron this, but I'll absolutely heat set it a little bit more with my heat tool that I use, or you can use a hair dryer. But heat seals the colors in so they don't wash out. It is permanent. All right. Okay, I don't want to mess with this too much because there is a little bit of play in the transfer. So here we go, you guys. Cross your fingers. Oh, that's so cute. What do you guys think? So far so good, huh? All right, let's hit up the other one. Show you how that looks. Pretty nice. Set that aside for a minute, and we'll do this one. So I think stuffing that paper in there is really helping to hold it firm. This is good. And as I'm going across the design, I am pushing to make sure that it's nice and tight as well. You guys ever decorated sneakers before? I don't know if I ever have, with anything for that matter. We used to write on our sneakers though when we were kids. I don't know why we did that, but we'd write our friends' names and whatever. Whatever cool thing was the thing at the time. Thanks, Nance. So I'm trying to decide what is the best time for me to be live with you guys. I like mornings, but it isn't the best time for a lot of people. People are getting back to work now. and I'm missing some of my regulars. So I'm trying to decide if I should do it later. I'm better in the morning. By the end of the day, some people go live at night, and I'm just too tired. I can't talk anymore. I might have a bleed right here. I'm going to be really careful. Let's see. All right. I'm not sure if I had a little bleed right there, but we're going to find out. Here we go. Peel and reveal. No, it worked fine. These are so cute. So cute. Ta-da. All right, let's see how they look together. See if I got them even or not. By golly, I think they are. I think so. All right, so I'm going to heat set these after I cover my jar so I don't stick my hand in it. And then we're going to move on and decide. What do you think? Do I need another layer on top of there, or will that just get it messy? What do you think? Do it with markers, huh? All right, did you ever write, tell me if you ever wrote the answers to a test on the bottom of your shoe. I think I did that once. Sorry, teachers. I think I did that once. All right, let's get that heat tool out and give this a dry. So the ink doesn't dry nearly as quickly as our chalk paste does. So you have a little bit more wiggle room as far as how quickly you remove your transfers. Hey, Leslie. So you can take your time, unless you're doing a really, really, really big piece, which most people don't with ink. You do smaller pieces. But you can move slower. As you know, you want to always remove your chalk paste and your ink from your surface before it dries. If it dries, it's going to pull right up with your transfer. So you want to be sure that you have removed it before the ink or the chalk dries. What do you think, Leslie? Would you wear these? We're going to cutie them up a little bit more too. Yeah, this wasn't so hard to do. I was really worried about the curve of the shoe, but it looks great. If you guys are watching live or on replay, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that SHARE button and sprinkle this on your homepage so that your friends and family can watch too. Oh, it's hot. Whew. It's still shiny so that I know it's wet. It'll dull right down when it's dry. Alright. So, yes, it is ink. You can use our inks on anything fabric like shoes, t-shirts, towels, aprons, pillows. You can also use it on things that you can, like coffee mugs. I think I made a soup mug with you guys one time. Anything that you can put in the oven to heat set or iron with an iron or a heat press, you can use our inks with for permanency. If I was doing this with chalk and they got wet, it would be a huge mess. Hi, Stacy. Good morning. All right. Pretty good. So, what do you guys think? Should I add another layer? Just add a little bit more leaf to this? And then scatter some flowers in? I could put it on the other side, but I don't know if I want to put it there. Nah, that looks weird. That looks weird. What do you think? Layer or no layer? Let's layer it on there and see how it looks. So again, I'm following the curve of the sneaker with the curve of the leaf. And I'm going to do a custom color on this if we decide to do it. I'm thinking right about here. Let's do a little bit more decor on the shoe. What do you guys think? Layer it or leave it? Leave it. Leave it. I need your help, guys. All right, I'm gonna mix up a little bit of a custom color and then we'll decide what to do. So to make custom colors, you are gonna take your chalk paste. I want this to be a lighter color of green. Oh, these are tight. Hold on, I got it. I always try to cover my jars really tightly so that air doesn't get in. So I'm gonna scoop out a little bit of white. Sure, go for it. Okay. Thanks for the encouragement. I don't need a ton of chalk paste, so I'm just gonna have a little scoop on my stir stick here, and I'm gonna put it on this little plate. And you can, I have a little Couture plate. You can use a paper plate or, you know, anything small that you don't mind getting ink on. I'm just gonna mix some of that green in there. I don't want it too light because it'll blend in with the sneakers too much. But I don't want it exactly the same shade as the other one because it's a different kind of leaf, right? It's coming out pretty good. And you can do this with our paste, our chalk paste, as well as the inks. Mix away. Leslie's leave it. Nancy says do it. You know, it's okay. I paid $6 for these sneakers. If it's not nice, it is what it is. So I think I'm going to go for it. Why not? Sorry, Leslie. All right, as always, I have ink on my fingers, so let's clean that up. It's a little boring like this, isn't it? Let's do it. All right. That. I'm going to place the end of this branch. Sorry if I'm out of your sight here. I try to do this so that you can see what I'm doing, but sometimes I miss the mark and I can't see it. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom of the stem where the bottom of the other stem is, like so. All right, I should probably place the other one like I did before so that I know they're even. They look different when they're done on there, you know? Come on. There we go. I'm trying to get them as even as I can on these shoes because I don't want them not to look matched. Hey, that came out great. All right, you here. We'll do this one first with our custom green. It's kind of a minty green. Yep, I got pink flowers. You betcha. It's my favorite color flower. Although my favorite flower is actually sunflowers. Sunflowers are my favorite, closely followed by daisies. I like them both. And neither of them are pink, but in my garden you find mostly pink flowers and sunflowers. All right, let's grab some of this ink and hope for the best. I'm glad you guys are with me as I do these projects. It's a lot more fun to do it with you guys. Even more fun when I do it with you in person. And someday we'll be doing those classes again. All right, we got it done. Say a prayer. Yeah. I think that was a good call, Nancy. Keep getting notifications about my Dropbox, so can you guys see that? Sorry, I'm getting some new lights someday soon. It's not really like, it doesn't like jump out at you, but it's a little bit of something and I like it a lot. So let's do the other one. Do this one. So if you guys are watching, I wanted to tell you that July is going to be a super special month in my VIP group. VIP. In that group, I'm going to be doing a special called Christmas in July. You don't want to miss it. So if you are not in my VIP group and you are not already a designer, please put VIP in the comments and I'll send you the link to join me. I'm going to be doing some really good specials, so you don't want to miss it. Oh, little bubble right there. Hopefully that didn't bleed. I'm working really carefully on this because the surface is not exactly smooth, just because it's curved. So I'm working really carefully and going very slowly with this. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Yep, it did bleed just a little bit right there. Pull that closer. See if I can get you in this way better. There, now you can see it better. So what I'll do is I'll put a little flower there. So cover it all up. Let's see if we match. Oh yeah, it does. So cute. Let's dry it up a little bit. And get some flowers going on. You could even put a flower on the heel. What do you think about that? Overkill? I'm never know when to stop sometimes. So I probably, because I can't heat set these exactly, I would let them air dry for, I don't know, 12 hours, 24 hours maybe before wearing them. You could also, I know they have some sealers, sealer that you can buy for shoes, for canvas shoes. I don't own any. You could seal them if you want to try to keep them cleaner. Up to you. If you do, just use light coats on the design area. Okay. Alrighty. So far, so good. What do you think? So it's more of a, you'd notice the design more from the side of the shoe than the front. But that's kind of what I wanted. I don't know if I'd wear anything that was too much like out there in your face. It would be cute on the heel? Okay, we'll do that too. All right, I'm gonna put this green ink off to the side so again, I don't stick my hand in it because that is how I roll. And cover up the white and we'll get those pink flowers going. So I've got the full flower, which kind of looks like a cherry blossom or crabapple, I don't know. But I was gonna put like a couple of those, and I also have the half flower, which we'll use. And you want to do things in odd numbers, so I'll probably do 3 flowers on each side in the same place because they're shoes and they have to match, right? These are a pair of Katie sneakers. Yeah, she'd wear these. She'd wear these. She was here with the boys yesterday. They were a riot. All right, so I'm thinking you want to do sort of a triangular shape when you're doing your 3s. So I'm going to do probably one here, and one here with probably the smaller flower. I don't know, we'll see. I'll see when I get there. But let's place this on. All right, I'm going to use one petal on top of the... I'm just trying to plan strategically where it'll go on the other shoe, so I'm watching where I'm putting it pretty carefully. Got to have a plan, right, guys? Yeah, yesterday, my daughter went back to work this week, and yesterday my grandson told her that she should wear her bathing suit to work. She's a server in a local restaurant and bar, and she probably would get some better tips if she did, right? Probably not a good idea. All right, so I'm using this is just called Couture Coral. It's actually not pink, but it's a pretty bright pink. It's going on a small area, so it's not going to be like, oh, like too bright, I don't think. We'll see. I'm using my multi-tool to do this just because it's got a very small squeegee on the end, and I'm working with a little tiny little transfer, so that'll work perfectly. All right, let's see how it looks. Da da da, cute. All right, maybe I'll put one like right there, kind of off to the side a little bit. I'm avoiding this seam and the blue tape, so right in between there, like that. Push it down with this end of this tool so I don't get my fingers in the ink, because I usually do anyway, right? All right, here we go. Spot right here, doesn't want to grab the color. There we go. What do you think? All right, that looks good. Should I pop one on the heel right now while I'm thinking of it? This one I can't really show you when I do it, so I'm just gonna do it off to the side here. Oh, there's a little seam right there in the back of the shoe. Right in the middle of it, of course. Let's see what we can do with it though. Then we'll grab the other shoe and do that one. I don't know if I'm going to need that half flower. What do you guys think? Less is more, right, Leslie? Crazy glare on my camera, my lens there. I don't know. What do you think? Do we need another one? Or should I just stop there? Wyatt is the one who said you should go to work in your bikini. Yes. Big surprise there, huh? Boy's crazy. All right, let's go and finish the other one. I'm not sure if I want to do another flower in there. They're bigger than they kind of planned them to be, so maybe not. All right, so this one is going to go right in here. Oh, this is the hard part. Okay, it is what it is. If it's not in the right spot, it's gonna stay there. All right, smooth that down and grab some of that ink. Okay, lift it up. Looks good. Looks good, you guys. All right, and this one is going to go right where the other one was. I remember how I did that using the seam of the across the front of the sneaker and the blue tape. That was my starting spot for that. Gosh, stick, stick, stick. Need to keep checking my hands. Long time ago, I taught a t-shirt painting class, a Christmas, or it was a sweatshirt actually, a sweatshirt painting class, and we were using that puff paint. Do you remember that? It came in a tube and you had to squeeze it and drag it along your fabric. My mother made the most beautiful sweatshirt with it, and just as she finished, she ran her whole arm through the wet paint. I thought she was gonna cry. It was so pretty. She made the prettiest one. That I just thought of that when I was thinking about wet ink and getting it on my hands. She was really creative, my mom. And I thank her for that. I've always had a need to create things. I don't know, since I was a little kid, I was always making stuff. Stop. No more flowers? Or stop talking. All right. Pretty sweet, huh? You know what I could do? I know what I'm going to do. I am going to add something, but I don't think it's going to be a flower. But I'm going to put a flower on the back heel of this one. I almost put the wrong side on.